All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Anika Thomas, and I am the Director of Advertising and Sponsorship Sales over at CLA. So I want to welcome you to today's webinar called Marketing Your Met. So very excited to hear about this webinar. So if you guys could do me a favor and just so we can see who's out there, put your name in the chat, what company you're from or your laundromat name, and then what state you're in. So I'll give you a minute to do that.
Get up here.
All right, so today we're gonna have Aubrey Polesh with Laundry Lux. She's gonna be our lovely facilitator, and I'll go ahead and let her introduce our panelists.
Awesome. Yeah. So thank you, Nika. As you mentioned, my name is Aubrey. I am with Laundry Lux. I have been very lucky to be in this amazing industry for almost 15 years now, which is crazy. And one of the best parts of the industry, in my opinion, is all of the amazing women and being part of a group like this, the Women's Laundry Network. So I actually am going to have each of our four awesome panelists give a brief introduction about themselves, share a little bit more about where they're located, their time in the industry, and how long they've been in the industry. So we'll just go from top down and we'll start with Hannah.
Good morning. Well, it's afternoon now. My name is Hannah Chapman. I entered the industry in January of 2021. We are in South Central Oklahoma. We have 4 locations, and the name of our company is Wash Bar. We do full service laundry, and then we also do wash and fold. And then this location has a dog wash. So we are kind of spreading our wings a little bit. So that's me.
Location of the dog wash. It's doing laundry. She has 4 laundries.
The next one that we'll jump to is Sarah.
This is over here.
Hi
Yeah, I mean, they're
everyone, my name is
already
Sarah
exposed.
Mackin. I own Southern Suds Laundry Center with my husband. We're located in South Carolina. We are coming up on 3 years of ownership. Currently 1 store, but opening very soon 2 additional locations. We do self-serve and we offer wash, dry, fold as well.
Awesome. Next up, and before we jump, if we could just ask everyone, if you are not one of the presenters, to mute yourself because we're getting some background noise. That being said, we do want input, so please feel free to come off mute if you have a question during this, or put it in the chat. But if you're not talking, please put yourself on mute. So Christina, we'll jump to you next.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Christina Jacobelli. I own College Coin Laundry in Oceanside, California, which is the most northern part of San Diego County. I have owned this one and only laundromat for 31 years. Next week, I'm going to be replacing all of my dryers and upgrading to credit card readers. So I'll be a hybrid store by the end of next week. That's
Very
it.
cool. And then last but not least, Sashel.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sashel McNeil. I own the Wash From Laundry service in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am maybe the odd man out, odd woman out. I don't own a laundromat, have never owned a laundromat, but we have just completed building a laundry processing facility, but it'll be a closed facility. We're not operational yet, but all the equipment's there and it looks good.
So marketing is definitely not one size fits all. So we are very, very honored and lucky to have this amazing panel of women with stores or businesses across the country serving different demographics, different markets, different business models as far as, you know, the ancillary services that they offer. So we try to put together a very diverse group of questions that each of the ladies are going to share some of their expertise. But definitely, again, please chime in the chat, or if you want to come off mute, if you have any follow-up questions, because we want to make this a benefit to everybody who's on the call. So we definitely want it to be interactive if you have follow-up questions. So with that, we're going to kind of kick it off with talking about more of what would be maybe the basics or the beginning. So if any of you ladies want to share a little bit about the brand for your business, how did you come up with a brand? How important do you think branding is? And really, what defines your laundromat brand? And then how are you communicating that to your customers? So if any of you ladies want to jump in and take that one.
May I
Go ahead.
comment on that? I think the brand, like for me, my brand is based on what we offer. I'm a fully attended store, the cleanest in San Diego County. It's not even a match because nobody is fully attended. I know all the people in the industry, all the repairmen, they all tell me the same thing. So I'm hearing a little bit of background noise, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. I think it's very important to be a brand because you need to stand out from your competitors. So you need to find out what is it that you're doing different from the competitors near you and use that in your marketing and be consistent. I have been consistent for 31 years marketing exactly that. Fully attended, cleanest machines, always up, always operating.
And
I can
think it's
jump in
Brian
next.
Clemens. If
Go
you
ahead.
wouldn't mind going on mute, we're just getting some background noise.
Whoever the host is should be able to mute them.
Nika, are you able to?
Let me check,
Okay.
see if I know how.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I think you cut off. Did you have anything you were going to jump in and add?
Yes, no, not a problem. I just wanted to add branding, in my opinion, and is everything. It's not just from your fun logo to that's eye-catching. It's how people and how customers feel coming into your store. So a little bit of background with myself and Nick being involved in the community. He's a firefighter, and then our volunteer activities in general. We wanted to continue that community feel when customers come into the laundromat. And so I would describe our laundromat as a fresh, modern community hub. It's family friendly. Everyone knows each other. We know most customers by name. And I think that really helps us build the connection with our customer base.
Awesome. Either of the other panelists have anything you want to add, or we'll jump to the next topic.
Hannah, I see you smiling like it's like you want to get in here. Come on in here.
Okay. I think your brand really does what sets you apart. And I think, especially those of us that do both, you have to cater to both demographics because people who are going to use your wash and fold are going to be very different than some of those that use your self-serve laundromat. So you have to have something that's going to connect two different demographics and two different users, but that's simple, straightforward, plain, and easy to use. And so I think, I like to use the KISS phrase, keep it simple, silly. We say silly because we have children. So I think that would play a huge part into building your brand. And then the fact that you can reach anyone regardless of socioeconomic status or anything else. So.
Awesome. In tandem with that, and it was one of the things I think, Christina, you talked about is part of your branding and really communicating what makes you stand out from your competitors. Do you guys have any tips or tricks of how you communicate that in your marketing, whether that be with specific tactics that you use or specific messages or copy that you put on your marketing?
I'll start here. And this is, it is not necessarily marketing for the business, but it goes along with branding. I met a lot of people here through social media, right? Through LinkedIn. And one of the things that I do on my personal LinkedIn page is always talking about, most of the time, laundry, customer service, and just the customer journey. But I always start every social media post with, let's talk about. And people, it has stuck. People, when they see me, they say, well, let's talk about. And it's almost like a joke. But I did that not knowing what I was doing. But it has, falls into my branding, right? So when people see me, that's the thing that they hang on to. And you want people to hang on to something about you, your business, your laundromat, and those kinds of things. And branding is for us as owners and CEOs and founders and all of those things. Branding goes well past what we do for the business itself. It's us as people, individuals, we are branding or a branding tool or mechanism for our businesses as well. So as you're building out those things and thinking about branding and marketing, keep that in mind that you are a branding tool as well.
I love that. Any of the other ladies have any tactics or messaging that you guys use to show how you're different from competition?
I use Yelp and Google, and I make posts on there, and I'm repetitive with my same message, fully attended, whatever. I keep repeating it over and over. So anyone who walks into the store, we even say it in person. Anyone who gets on Yelp or Google, they'll see it, or my Facebook page. They see me consistently repeating the same thing. Unfortunately, I'm not over techie, so I don't use LinkedIn like I should, but I rely on Google, Yelp, and Facebook.
And I would add to that, our Google profile and our activity on Facebook itself has been huge. Facebook is where we get the most interactions with our customers. Of course, we run our promos and what's going on in the weekly, daily within the store, but I think one thing that really helps our customer base connect with us and follow along with our journey from the very beginning to where we are now and going to continue to go is we show them the behind the scenes. We show them when we're under construction. And we recently had a poll because we wanted to freshen up our name for our loyalty program, had a poll running for, hey, what's the best name? What do you think we should use? And then open to suggestions. People really love that interaction because they get to be a part of the journey, and we're only here because of them. So we really try to focus on that and bring that to light and have everyone feel involved.
I love that. Hannah, anything to add?
I was going to say how she showed behind the scenes. So our most recent store, we've only been open about 18 months. And before we ever opened, we had 2,200 followers on Facebook before we ever opened our doors. And so that's the power of social. That's the power of showing them the behind the scenes, getting them real excited. And then it helped, once we opened in the promos and things we did at our grand opening and things, but we had 2,200 eyeballs already before we ever opened our doors. So give them that vulnerability. They know that you're real people. I always say people don't leave relationships, they leave numbers. And so when you introduce yourself as the owner, you introduce yourself as what you're doing, they connect to you. We have pictures of my family scrolling on our TVs. They're real people. They're not just somebody behind a name. And I think that helps, and it goes into your branding as well.
I love that. Jumping over to social media, I think that's a good transition. I think a lot of people recognize that social media can be an amazing marketing tool. So a couple of questions tied to social media. One is, I know we've talked about LinkedIn, we've talked about Google, we talked about Facebook, Instagram, but really what social media platforms have you guys each seen as the most successful for your stores? And then, we have talked about some of the messaging, but in general, what do you see as the most effective, whether that be organic content that you're posting, paid advertising, a mixture of both, and what does your content look like? And are you guys building out like content calendars or anything? What's kind of your overall social media strategy, and what would you recommend? So that was a lot. Feel free to answer any or all part of that.
All right, I'll jump in. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, right? We get the most interaction from Facebook. We currently are not running any ads, any paid ads. We haven't run any paid ads in almost 2 years now, but we're going to crank the paid ads back up in January. And so for the last 2 years, we've really just been focusing on, local SEO and really beefing up our website so that we are doing well in the Google search, the Google local search and the Google Maps. And as far as a content calendar, we keep a content calendar. We build it out for like 3 months in advance. And then, we just start working towards that. And if things come up during that 3 months where we've already built the calendar out, we'll shuffle some things around because you have different themes that will come up, or if something's going on in the business and you think, oh man, that's a great idea, we should, use that right now. Then we go ahead and mix things in there. In terms of Google Ads, I spent a lot of money on Google Ads. We spent a little bit of money on Google Ads. It's really, you really have to have a strategy when you're dealing with Google Ads or social ads, right? Some people think you can throw $40, $50, $100, $200 at it, and it will give you some good traction. That is not it. You really have to have a strategy with that, whether you're spending a little bit of money or a lot of money. And what we found when we were doing ads is that the ads with video do much better, and also having some sort of teaser, right? We did this thing for probably 8 or 9 months. That was a download. It was like, what is your laundry style? And it's like a lazy laundry person or super laundry person, and having people to download that collateral helped us out so much. Like, we got so much customer information from that, and we were able to like retarget those people and send them our information directly. So I say all that to say Google Ads, social ads are great. Without a strategy, they're nothing. And to really think about, video versus, still images when you're working on your content or the collateral for your ads.
I love it. Any of the other ladies have anything to add or chime in on? Sorry, I did notice there was a question regarding, has anyone hired a social media manager? Or are you managing it yourself? I don't know if you guys have any input on that, but I wanted to share that I have worked with a couple of store owners who have actually contacted local colleges and worked with marketing majors. It kind of has been a win-win in that, especially if you don't have a huge budget for marketing, an intern is looking for something to have on the resume, like a true life case study. And so be able to say, hey, I worked with Susan's Laundromat. We grew their followers by this. We grew their engagement by this. We grew their top line revenue by this. We helped them reach these KPIs, can like really benefit their job experience in their resume. And it could potentially be a free or a lower cost option for you. So that's something I would encourage. If you have any local colleges or someone in college, that might be a way you can get somebody to help you.
To that point, I just want to add, so I'm currently managing our own social media, but I am going to be exploring the college intern aspect. We have a college less than a mile from us, so that's actually something I'm exploring, and hopefully we'll have an update for in the near future. But right now we are big on having the campaign set up ahead of time. I do work full-time in the insurance industry, so the laundromat is all other hours of my life. So anything that can help me do my job better, I do. I'm big on having the calendars pre-planned, have the content ready. I'll do batch scheduling on the weekend, and it's set up for the next month to just automatically flow. We pre-plan, of course, all of our promos when we want those to go out in front of the customers. We also, for Wash Dry Fold, we have Sense, and we work with LaundryWorks as well. So we pair those together in contacting and getting in front of our customers.
Awesome. Hannah or Christina, anything from your side?
I second kind of what Sashel said about the Google ads, Facebook ads. My 2 cents about Google, and we've seen this. Google ads, they're not, unless you know how to use them like a professional and you went to college for them, don't spend your money on them, because unless somebody is saying laundromat near me in Google, or they're saying those types of words, they have to use those optimal words to even know that you exist. And more people don't know that they need you until they see you on Facebook, right? What's your laundry style? That's a great way to get them in the door. And then they're like, hey, I can't do laundry today. I guess I'm just going to check these people out. So it's not just in those kinds of things. And we also plan our calendar. We plan 6 months in ahead, and we have a client journey that's mapped out. And so depending on where our clients are in that journey depends on the type of promotion or marketing that they get outside of social media. So, and somebody asked a question, how do you how do you schedule or something? I think I saw that. We use Excel and we just plan it out. We do 4 weeks at a time for each month and then pre-plan out. We put in the dates, the holidays, kind of like what Sushel said. So, yeah, just use your Excel. And if you don't have a huge budget to get into marketing right now or hire somebody, ChatGPT Pro is $20 a month and it'll become your best friend until you can really get down what you need, and it takes that brain power away from you. So you can
Yeah.
save time.
Definitely.
I would
I'm a
just
huge
add, I
A-
dropped
oh,
some
go ahead.
things in the, I'm sorry, I dropped some things in the chat about scheduling tools. It was really only two. I would also kind of piggyback on what Hannah was saying with those Google ads. Determining those keywords is everything, but I think it's more important to understand and really nail down your negative keywords, because those negative keywords is what it's like the goalpost, right? It keeps everything inside. Everything outside of the negative keywords is stuff that you don't want. You don't want your ads showing up to those people who are searching those things. And I'll give you a true example. Washroom laundry, we're not a laundromat, and so we have to have laundromat as a negative keyword. So when people are searching for a laundromat, they don't land on our ads. And another thing that I see in terms of ads, and we can spend our time on this one thing alone, and we can go for the rest of the week, but really nailing down your location. Like I see ads here for laundry services and laundromats that are in New York and Pennsylvania, and I'm like, I want to reach out to them and tell them to fix that, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
I will say I haven't had much luck on Facebook ads. Even when I do narrow down the location, I end up in random other states. I'm like, okay, so that's not my thing. But I have worked with third parties who help with the Google ads because, again, that is not my niche, so I need help there. They've also helped with geofencing, which I'm a huge fan of geofencing and highly recommend everyone either learn or find someone who can help you with it. It is a great tool. You can set targeted areas of customers you're looking for. Sorry to say, but even your competitors. You can also target apartment complexes anywhere you can think of. And that I really loved because you also can easily track the results that you're getting from that. For example, we did, I think the first 3-month span that we did, we gained 109 customers. And so like, I love seeing that you can track that feedback. So that's been huge for us as well. I think to add to someone mentioning what tools you can use for scheduling out your program on Facebook, there's a separate app or website called Business Suite, and it has everything set up with your calendar, and you can just plug it in there ahead of time with your ad, and it'll automatically post with the set day and time that you'd like. I use that all the time. TikTok has, if you're into TikTok, they have a similar feature. And another thing that I like about TikTok, it will actually show you and analyze in our industry what gaps are there. So I use AI a lot because I only have so much creative power in a day to our own ideas, and then merge it with AI and ask like, hey, this is the analysis from TikTok. What am I missing? Give me some ideas of what I can build upon to fill these gaps for customers.
I love it. One of the things that was touched on, and I want to dive in a little bit more, is how do you guys manage success? Like what KPIs? I know, I think with Sarah, you mentioned like you got 109 new customers and that. What are you typically looking at to know, yep, my money's going to good use, this marketing is working? And how long do you let it run before you adjust?
I think that's a double-edged sword. So again, for the first 3 months, for example, I'll use that. We had the 109 customers. We can gauge that because as new customers who have never pinged, I'm not, again, not the geofence person, but you can see that they've never been to your location before, and you can see when they have started to continue to grow and continue to come to your location, and if their patterns continue. And it all is based off of, I don't know, internet.
So for me, with the ads, in the past, I have been very loose with letting a poor ad run for a long time. But honestly, once your ads are up and running and they've ramped up and you don't see anything trending after about 4 weeks, you can take that down and try another one. Especially after they've ramped up and you can see traffic to them, you can pull them down relatively easy. And in terms of whether or not they're working, if you see conversions off of it, and sometimes it's hard to see the conversions off of it with some of the platforms that we're using right now. You kind of lose sight of the customer once it comes from your ad into your POS system. But now they're working on them, and you can track that customer from your ad to the time that they book the service in your POS system. So it's very, very easy to track now.
I always recommend to store owners too. It depends if you have coin or you're using a card system, and how closely you can track if you brought in a new customer. But one way that I encourage people to look at it is if you know the average spend of your customer per visit, and you can say, all right, let's assume this customer is going to come 2-3 times a month, and I'm going to keep them for at least a year. And then at that point, their lease is going to renew and they may move away. If their lifetime value to me, if they stay a year, is $1,000, is spending $15 towards something to get them worth it? Yes. And so if you are, say, for example, doing some type of event and you're going to spend, $2,000 to host the event, but you bring in 70 new customers times the value of those customers over a year, then it makes sense to spend the money. And I think that sometimes people are hesitant on, should I keep spending money on X, Y, and Z tactic? But if you have a way to figure out, even directionally, is it worth it? Am I getting the return? You can feel a little bit better about making that investment or continuing that marketing tactic. Anyone have anything else on this one? Otherwise, we'll jump to the next topic is community events and community engagement. I know that you guys talked about being individuals, making sure the community knows that you're humans, you're family-owned business. But is there any other things that you guys are doing to connect with the local community or different groups within the community to either give back or help market your location?
So my shopping center does a couple of, so I don't have to put, I'm lucky, I don't have to put forth a huge effort in going out to the community because my landlord actively markets along with all of us tenants, and will host a for sure Christmas event every year and something in between, in the summertime. So it's an entire shopping center and like an area. It's because I'm in a huge shopping center, and they'll close off a portion of that and allow us vendors or tenants to set up shop, little tent or whatever, and we can hand out product, whatever, free little laundry, detergent. My attendants, we can hang out, give out free laundry detergent, whatever, or brochures, and we make sure that they're aware there's a laundromat inside the shopping center. We've been doing that consistently, probably the entire, I say we, as in me, I'm the sole owner, me and my crew, probably the entire 31 years. And we've also done, I have a local shelter that we call once a month. We hold on to our laundry that gets left behind. We date it. And after 30 days, if it's not claimed, we donate it. So we have a local shelter, and they get the word out for us to people who use their shelter, and they come and use our laundromat. So we donate those items to them once a month for free. Obviously, they're left behind.
Yeah. Nice.
Any other things?
So
that you guys- Sorry. go ahead.
Sorry. So similar to Christina, we do the same. Once we hit our time limit of holding on to belongings, we do donate to a local shelter. So they also spread the word to the community. We've done a lot of people have the free laundry day. We've gotten great turnout and word with that. News channel and the newspapers, right, will include us in articles. They've done things about our laundry day specifically. We've tried or done food trucks, and that has been very successful. We've had to cut back because we are running out of parking space. we don't have parking space anymore. But in the beginning, when we were first trying to get the word out there, it was a really good attention grabber for everyone. What else have we done? We do sponsor our local college and our local elementary school. So similar that we set up tables at their events and hand out goodies. We usually raffle off a basket of laundry products and include a gift card to our laundromat as well. I'm just trying to think, there's a lot of things. In person, we're always always have gummies on hand for the kids. If Nick is there filling the vending machine, he'll give out goodies while it's open. We do create, here's AI again through ChatGPT, we create our personalized coloring books. So it's actually our logos and our machines and pictures of us and the kids. And we turn them into coloring books. And our thing is we hand that and color and crayons out as they're leaving because we don't want it colored all over the store. But we do make sure to always hand those out to the kids.
I love it.
Very good. Yeah.
Anything else tied to that one? Otherwise, we'll jump to the next topic. All right. What about traditional marketing? We talked a lot about social media, but is there any traditional stuff that you guys are doing, whether that be mailers, flyers, and is it working? Is it still worth spending money on?
So we do door hangers and still go door to door, but we double print them. So one side is our wash and fold service with a coupon code that's unique to that, so we can track it, because if it's not getting measured, it's not getting done. Okay, remember that one, y'all. There's some truth bombs today. People are just throwing them out. That's one of them. If it's not getting measured, it's not getting done, nor are you going to see any results. So you have to have a code printed on that. And then on the other side, it is our laundromat side. And it gives them how to download their app. They get a free $5 if they download their app and they come in and use that service. So again, another code that we can track who is getting those. So if you're going to be investing in old school marketing, traditional marketing, at least make it worth your dollar. And so depending on what neighborhood we're going to by zip code, it depends on how we place that door hanger on the door. If we're in apartment complexes, if we're in trailer parks, we've even done RV parks because we get a lot of travelers where we're at. When we put those in there, forward facing is laundromat. When we go into the country club, we have wash and fold facing out. And it has worked beautiful for us. So we see about a 6 to 7% return, which is in traditional paper methods, your usual return is like 1 to 2%. So don't be scared to go to paper. Don't be scared to do something like that, because some of your traditional methods still work. So
I agree 1,000% on that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. Go right ahead.
I have consistently for the entire time I've owned my laundromat, I don't think I've ever missed 1 month. I do traditional, there's a coupon booklet that my shopping center puts out. Again, my landlord takes part in it as well, and it's all different stores inside our shopping center. So it's a coupon booklet that hits, I believe, unless they've changed the numbers, about 18,000 homes in a geographic area near us. And it positively still works after all these years. And sadly, because I've been doing this for so long, I'm not tracking it like I used to. I used to literally track every single phone call that came in. But I can tell you this, every single time one of those goes out, and I'm not even aware when it goes out, my calls increase. I get a huge influx of phone calls, people asking questions about our wash, dry, fold service. So in other words, yes, traditional marketing does still work. Those people hold on to those things. Some might throw them out, but they'll throw them on their kitchen counter. They'll remember they went through it and go, oh yeah, I have this blanket or rug or sleeping bag or whatever. It doesn't fit in my machine at home. I remember there's a laundromat in that shopping center, and they'll go through it and then they'll call me even a month later, whenever after it's gone out. So it has always worked for me.
Any other ladies?
And one thing I wanted to add, sorry, off of Hannah, she mentioned trailer parks. That made me remember. We have a few customers for the wash, dry, fold in trailer parks and campgrounds. So we're around Lake Murray, it's like the biggest lake in the state. So we have a lot of Airbnbs and campgrounds, that type of thing. We have actually put up banners after speaking with owners of the campground and trailer park, because we're already there anyway, making stops. So it's something that we advertise to the rest of their community, and it gets the word out, and that's helped us grow there as well, since we're in the area.
I love it.
I'll say this, it kind of goes back to a social, LinkedIn post from the other day around, wrapping vehicles, but, it's not traditional. It's probably non-traditional, but, the strangest thing that I've ever done in terms of marketing was park our van out at the college on their homecoming day. We paid for parking like $25 and parked it out there for 2 days and just watch the phone calls come in just from parking the van that's wrapped out in the parking lot on game day.
I love that.
It was a shot in the dark, but it kind of worked.
I love that. The next topic I want to jump to, which we've touched a little bit on, is AI. We've talked a little bit about ways you use AI, but are there any other ways that you guys are either using AI, or any specific AI tools that you're using, or anything like third-party outsourcing that you're doing that maybe isn't tied to AI? I know ChatGPT is a big one. What are some ways that you guys use ChatGPT?
I might use it strictly for language, grammar, ideas. I'm not necessarily paying for any form of advertising, but I use it to help me tweak my advertising or give me some great ideas in advertising, and it's been very helpful.
So we're very big on using a lot of our own photos, not stock photos, for our marketing. Canva, I guess, I don't know, I've just noticed the last few months, but they have an AI tool now too, but you can also access it through ChatGPT. So I plug in our own actual photos, and it helps me just mock up something for marketing or to help along with the strategy or the goal that I'm going for. It might not be exactly what I'm looking for, but it takes some of the guesswork out of it or gives me a fresh idea, and I can just move some things around. So I'm big on using Canva for that.
Have any of you guys used like Upwork or any third-party service like that?
We've used Fiverr. When we first opened, we used Fiverr for recording our phone system. We've switched from that system from now, but for our phone tree, neither one of us felt like we had good talking voices. So we hired a voice actor to do our voice prompts for us. I think we paid $17. Like, it wasn't hard at all. So, but in other ventures that we've had, other businesses we've had, we've used them for graphics. We've used other for phone design, in different recordings. And Fiverr's kind of like, you could hire a college kid too. Some of them aren't really expensive and they do really good work. And you can choose, and you can kind of solicit from 5 people and see which one gives you the best option back, and then use them. So we've used Fiverr.
Yeah. We've used both for, different marketing collateral, that kind of stuff, design work in the past.
What are ways that you use your everyday customers to market for you and be your advocates and spread word of mouth? How are you using your customers to help you?
So we hand out thank you cards. If somebody's giving us a lot of compliments, we give a thank you card, and I say something. I kind of wrote down what I would put in the card. Thank you for your business and loyalty. We appreciate you and look forward to seeing you on your next wash day. And in there, I'll put my Yelp and Google, and I would, I asked them, we would love a raving review. And it's a hit and miss thing, but it works. You get it because your reviews are everything. You can do whatever marketing you want, whatever technology you want to use. At the end of the day, it's your reviews. You need to have good reviews. That's what brings the business in the door. Everyone's using it, whether you're going to a restaurant or using any other form of business. So you want to get those customers to give you a review without pushing them for it or bribing them for it, with a free wash or whatever. I tend not to do that. I just ask them politely, and I make it easy by putting it on a thank you card and handing it to them.
I love it. Any other ideas or ways?
Yeah, along those lines as well. All of our wash, dry, fold orders have a thank you card with a handwritten message in there from the attendant who did it, but we do have them pre-printed with our logo and a QR code that if they scan it, it goes straight to our Google review. We also have a few signs around the store that are very large that ask everyone to, like, hey, shout out, leave us a review. It makes a big difference. And again, it has that QR code on there. We have been very fortunate. I don't know if it's because of our activity, not just on our Facebook page, but the community Facebook pages. A lot of our customers will tag us and leave us really amazing reviews on those pages, which is really nice. We haven't asked for them, but they're there. We recently, again, like I mentioned since before, we have a built-in referral code as well. So it's 10 or 15, I forget off the top of my head, % off your first order with the referral code. So that helps as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, for us, we do a lot of commercial work, and so quarterly we reach out to our commercial customers just to check in and see how service is going. And whenever I'm reaching out to them, I'm asking them, is there anyone that you can recommend our service to? Is there, any of your peers? And I ask them directly for that referral. Do they mind sharing their information or doing an email connection with us? It's not a lot, but we have had some success in doing that, just outright asking our customers for a referral.
I love it. Anyone else have anything?
We give our wash, dry, fold customers credit if somebody comes in and they say, hey, Aubrey recommended me here. Even without knowing, we go in and we give them credit on their next order. So nothing public. And then your next drop off, you drop off a comforter and you're like, hey, I only owe $5. Why is that? Oh, Sally referred you and she came in. So thank you for being it. And then they're like, oh, so, and yeah, we do it behind the scenes, but we also write thank you notes and we also ask referrals from our commercial clients. And so second, all of that.
I think we're getting some background noise. I think you want to wait. Did you have a question? So I'm going to pull an audible here and you ladies can choose not to answer. But I do know that one thing that comes up a lot is marketing spend. Like, how much do I invest, especially in the early ramping stages versus later on once the store is mature? And obviously each of your stores are in different markets or you have different, revenue, but would you say, do you have a target amount of gross that you're spending on marketing per month? Or how do you kind of figure out how much you're spending? And do you have a rule as far as when a store is first opening, how much you're spending versus at what point you may pull it back?
So we go, I'm gonna use the word balled out in the beginning. Because especially the laundromat side, is you are trying to change their pattern of behavior. So laundry is not just this is going to be tough love here. It's not just creating a cute little social media post in the beginning, because these people have been going to, the Smiths down the street for 40 years or 20 years or whatever. And if you're coming in, either you're retooling or you're building a new one, or you're coming into a market that you've never been to before, you're going to have to change their pattern of behavior. And so we invest very heavy in the beginning and we do 2 weeks of free washing, not just drying. We do 2 weeks of free washing. They pay for their dryer. And we do that up 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how this store that we just opened, we did it for 4 weeks. But again, you're changing their pattern of behavior. I know that traditional marketing for my laundromat customer, it cost me $7 to get a laundromat customer in the door. Over their lifetime, they're spending $1,500 to $1,700 with me. Well, if I need to triple that spend in the beginning from $7 to $21, it's way, way, way worth my investment, giving them free washes for 3 weeks, because now they're with me for that long. Now, my other store that I've opened now almost 5 years, I've got people that we did the same thing with. They've been with me for 5 years. So that investment has paid over and over and over and over again. And so, and then, your marketing is going to change, your budget spend is going to change the further along that you are. In different seasons, we always say if laundry is seasonal, And I'm sure those of you who've been in the industry, you can talk about that. And I know it's, especially for us, we're in agriculture, we're in the Midwest. We go 3 months big, 3 months slow, we cycle. And so in our spikes, we want to make our spikes go higher. So we're going to spend a little bit more in marketing because, you know, if you're producing, you want to produce even more. And so that's kind of how we view ours. But I mean, we're anywhere from 10 to 15%, depending on the time of year, depending on what we're doing. And then from there, you know, our beginning stores opening, we spend a whole lot more. And then once we get them in, they're in, and we don't have to spend as much. So.
I love that. One thing that you brought up that I always like to call out too is the idea of if you are doing, you know, whether it be a free wash day or a free wash week, a lot of people think, well, I'm giving it away, which yes, you are. But if your washer has an $8 cycle vend, it's not actually costing you $8. It is costing you pennies on the dollar because it's costing you your utilities to run the machine. And so I think that is, to Hannah's point, like people think, well, I'm missing out on all of this. It's costing me this. No, it's not really costing you that. It's costing you what to run the machine. And when you look at the lifetime value of a customer, if you're going to spend $7 to get a customer that's going to be $2,000, you know, most people would make that decision all day, every day. And so to kind of think about it differently sometimes.
For sure.
Someone has a hand up. Catherine.
To the free wash or dry, for the 2 weeks, do you put a cap on how much they can bring in?
We don't.
So
don't.
full stop, everything's free for as long as they come.
Full stop, as long as they come. Our motto is like, we will be the most generous and kind people that we can. And so.
Totally. We're opening December 8th and we're planning on being free for December because Christmas is hard enough. That's the line. Because the holidays are hard enough to pay for. So, okay.
And after that, kind of view it as you're just passing along the cost of utilities is basically what you're doing. You know, you're just a utility provider. I know that's a weird thing. And the longer you're in it, you'll understand that more.
No, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Esther, you had a question. And yeah, please, we've kind of covered most of our topics. So if anyone else has questions, please feel free to raise your hand or put it in the chat. But go ahead, Esther.
Yeah, my question is just piggybacking, and it's for Hannah. Is the free wash marketing for wash and fold, for self-serve, or for both?
The free wash.
Because I'm planning to open a new store. It's been closed for a while. It was a laundromat, but it was closed for like 2-3 years, and I'm opening hopefully sometime in January. I hope in December, but yeah. Just wanted to.
Yeah, so we do the free wash just for the self-serve laundromat side. We do a few little promos in the beginning for our wash and fold, but we view wash and fold as our cream on top. So our laundromat is what pays the bills, what makes our marketing and everything else. And then we take our wash and fold, and then that turns into our expansion, excess programming, crazy community events. That's what we use that for. And so it's just for self-serve laundry.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have any other questions or maybe topics that we haven't covered yet that you want to ask about? Virginia.
Hi, I just wanted to know, like, do you guys have any recommendations as far as apps to use for when they're coming in to join, or if they want to do the rewards? Do you guys recommend any specific apps?
Virginia, just as it is a CLA event, we try to stay very brand neutral. So I would recommend maybe if you want to connect to any of the ladies offline and ask specific questions, I'm sure that they would be very happy to share their experience.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have questions? Catherine.
I have all the questions. So I'm not planning on charging for drying at all. Like that's just going to be part of our thing is we give away detergent, we give away drying. Like you come in, you do your wash. You can't access through our card system. You can't access the dryers without having used the washer, right? So we aren't going to get people bringing in their wet clothes from somewhere else. But is there a downside to that I'm not thinking of?
a lot of school of thoughts and everyone has an opinion. I would just say that if you are doing that, make sure that your vend price is covering that you're covering the dry. So
Oh,
your washer should not be the same price as your competitors' washers
Right.
where they're paying, because then you are leaving money on the table.
Yep.
The
Yep.
other thing to be aware of is you will have customers, depending how close you are to the competition, you will have customers that wash their clothes, the washer down the street at a cheaper price, and then bring their wet clothes to your dryer.
Yeah, I can lock it down. So basically, you get dry credits. If you use the washer, you get dry credits. And if you don't use
Perfect.
the washer, you don't get dry credits. And then suddenly you're like, holy cow, this is expensive.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be I don't know if anyone else, whether it be our panelists or anyone else, has any insight one way or another.
I think she
'Cause I-
kind of covered it because I was going to say you'll get a lot of walk-ins that wash and only want to come in and dry, but it sounds like they earn points when they wash. So I think you have yourself
Exactly.
covered there.
Yeah, I also don't want like homeless people coming in with their wet sleeping bag.
That is exactly what will happen.
Correct. And so basically I'm going to make the dry prohibitively expensive if you don't also use the washer.
Smart.
So,
I think
okay.
you got yourself covered.
Making sure. I'm in the phase now right before we open where I'm like, I'm doing everything wrong.
All you have to
You're
do is
not
try
alone.
and you can change.
Everyone
You can
feels that
always
way.
change here. There's no wrong. You have to try something and you can tweak and change and move around as you go along. We've all done it. Anyone that's been in this industry, the same tactic doesn't work all the time. You have to change and move and see what your competitors are doing. You're constantly
Mhm.
weaving your way through like any other business.
If you're going to fail,
Always pivoting.
fail forward and fail fast and switch
There
to
you
the next.
go.
Mhm.
For sure.
Anyone else have any specific questions or topics we didn't cover? Esther.
Yes, I just want to ask the panel, I'm planning to use double your money. I don't know if any of you have used it for self-serve when you're opening or some, I just want to hear about what the response was. Does it work?
We do double our money and we just do it twice a year. And we just do it for a certain time frame. We only do it for 3 days and they don't know till the day of, because then if not, they hold out. So, and nobody knows when it's coming. So y'all don't even know when it's coming. So, right?
Similar to
You
Hannah,
know what
I've
it's
also helped run stores where instead of doing free wash for the grand opening, it's double the money. The whole idea that to change their behavior, you put $20 on, now they have 40, so they're kind of committed to keep coming back to you to change their behavior.
Can I do both?
Yes, we, at this last store, we did
Good.
double. We did double your money for the first week, and then after that, we did the whole 3 weeks of free washes. So then they were here for 6 weeks, whether they liked it or not.
We
So
have
we
just
did double your money when we retooled last December, and one, because of new equipment, trying to, of course, grow our customer base. But we were the first and only, and still are, laundromat in our area that have touchscreen, high technology machines. So we had a big hurdle of changing people's habits from quarters. We're a very rural market, so everyone's very used to the way it was 30 years ago, and they don't like change. So we did it for 3 weeks. We were fully attended the entire time to help people through that process. And it made a huge difference. And once people went through the step-by-step and we walked them through it, they loved it. So that's how we form our Double Your Money.
awesome. Well, we are coming up on time, and Nika has a couple more slides to show as we wrap up. I want to thank the panelists for giving their time and sharing their knowledge and expertise. I want to thank all of you guys for attending. We do have the chat still open, so please feel free. I know some of the people put their contact information in the chat, or if you have any specific questions, we can always follow up offline as well. And I will turn it over to you, Nika.
Thank you, Aubrey. Thank you, ladies. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you. All right. I see a lot of names on here that I don't recognize. So I'm glad that we're going to be talking about upcoming events. So our next How to Start a Laundromat virtual workshop is going to be on December 9th from 11 to 12:30 Central. And then we're going to have another virtual event, Industry Trends, taking hold in 2026. So if you guys are available on December 10th, go ahead and register for that. And last but not least, our Women's Laundry Network, we're doing a virtual happy hour. So myself, Raina, Sarah, and Christina, we're on the task force for planning this event. So we have some exciting some trivia and ugly sweater contest. So if you guys are free from 4 to 5 Central Time on that day, love for you guys to join us. Here's the link below to register for that event. Also at TLA, we do a Connect Live event. So these are our in-person networking and dinner opportunities for you. So very informal, just a place for you guys to talk shop. So our next one is November 20th in Atlanta. So if any of you guys are in the area or from the area, be sure to stop by. After that, we're taking it on the road to California on December 4th and then New York on December 11th. So the link is below if you guys want to register for that. And we have our Excellent Women in Laundry. This is our 3rd time doing this event. It's going to be held at Hilton Head Island in South Carolina. Very beautiful resort on May 5th. So it'll be lots of education, panel, networking. If you guys are available, I guarantee you don't want to miss this event. And we're also, if you're gonna attend this event, we're doing a bundle for those that can attend the actual Excellent event and the Excellent Women event as well. So I do want to thank you all for attending and all of our panelists for presenting. This webinar is recorded, so you will receive a link within 24 hours for you to access it at another time if you guys missed something or if you want to go back. But that's all we have for today, and I just want to thank you ladies and the few men that joined for attending. Bye.
Audio Jungle.